Attention, all Kmart shoppers. Hi, beautiful people. I'm trying to get comfy. Hey, you beautiful people. It's your girl, makeup artist DeShawn, makeup artist DeShawn Hatcher, all the way from New York. And as I am here on Sunday and or Mondays, I'm here to talk to my amazing makeup artist community and help you guys with the funky situations we all have found ourselves in. I'm a senior artist of 22 years now. Yeah. It takes me a minute to go, how long have I been doing this? 22 years. And let me tell you, man, it has been a rough ride, but I love it and I wouldn't trade it for a thing. Hi. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, honey. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. So we are here tonight because you know what? Here's the sad part. The saddest part for me is the idea came from last week's live from a very lovely person, and I wrote down the topic when she said it to me live, but I can't find her name anywhere. So I feel terrible that I don't have her name because I wanted to credit her with this talk tonight. Because she said, let's talk about AI. And I said, ooh, good subject for next week. And here we are. And now I can't remember the person's name and I feel terrible. I hate that. Because like I said, I do not take credit for other people's work. I do not do that. So I did want to talk about AI. And the thing that I really love is that I did get a week to look at more talks online and get a better understanding of what is happening with AI and what is happening with the strike and what is happening. Okay. There's a lot of things happening for us makeup artists out there. And I think we should be aware of them. We should be aware that AI is coming. Did y'all get the way I wrote AI? I wrote it like a song. It's like, AI. All right. I don't know if y'all know that song. That's how I wrote it. If we were all together, I'd say it. AI. All right. But we're not all together, so you know what I'm saying, right? So listen, I'm trying to get comfortable. It's a long day. It's already a long day. Okay. So many issues today. I got to tell you. Oh, is that Suni? Is that Suni? Suni. Is that you? Hey, DeShawn. Hey, Jennifer Mitchell. Hi, DeShawn. Yeah. This chat GPT is crazy. Yes, Miss Jennifer Mitchell, it is. So I actually have notes because I didn't want to. I was writing down everything that I had looked at this week in terms of talking and all the things that I knew, and so I wanted to kind of go over the little things that are coming into our world. Okay, and I can't stay on late. I can't stay on for longer than an hour, so we got to do. I have a SAG. What do you call it? What am I working on? This week I have a movie that I'm working on, and I am not crossing a picket line. No, I am not. It is one of those SAG okayed films. So I'll be working on a film this week, and no, not because union people wanted this. It's a non-union film, but it is SAG okayed. And by the way, when I was hired, I asked that question. Is this one of these SAG movies that are you SAG'd and this is some funky crap that you got going on here? And he said no. And then I could look it up online to make sure that it was an accredited movie that SAG said it was okay to work. So I want to make that clear. So I have to get my stuff together and finish marking up my script and stuff like that. We start shooting this week, so I just need to get that going. So let's talk AI. All right. Yes, it's Sony. Long time. Hope you are well. I am well, Sony. How are you, honey? Yo, the last time I saw you, Sony, was at IMATS, right? Didn't I see you at IMATS, New York? I could have sworn it was IMATS, New York. Hi, Sony. Hi, honey. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're working. I hope you're doing everything you said you was going to do, Sony. So I'm watching you, girl. So, okay. So in the areas of AI, I have one, two, three, four, five, six real places right now that they are eking its way into our world. Okay. So the first one we all know, we all do it, we all play along, are those things that crop up now that, take one headshot or take a headshot with very little makeup on or a little makeup on that you did yourself. And you stand there and you take, you stand there and you take a picture with your phone and then you send it in and they give you 50 images, right? I played along one night several months ago. I was like, oh, that's so cute. Ha 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 ha. Oh, isn't that funny? Ha 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 ha. So I played along and I gave them my 995 or something like that. I gave them. Didn't realize this is an AI-ish at the time. And once I got my results back, I was like, oh, that's so cute. You ever have that delayed reaction? It was a delayed reaction with me. It was like, oh, look, oh, these are nice. Oh, these are really nice. And then all of a sudden I got this thickness and I said, ooh, these are too nice. I was like, Lord, you just cut out a makeup. You just cut out makeup, hair, and photography that quick. You cut it all out by just uploading one photo. No, it actually had to be more than one photo. It was like, was it 6 photos? I can't remember how many, but you upload it as many as you can, I guess. And then they generate all these images. Now, I will say that many of them, if I asked for 100 of them, I could only use, oh God, I don't know, 5. To be honest, I can only use 5. And then some of the other ones, if I were to then take it and pull it into Photoshop, then I could clean it up even more and maybe use those. But the point was when I did it, at first I thought it was cute. And then I realized, holy mother effing hell, DeShawn, this is not cute. This is going to eke into our industry. And so when people want headshots, right? Corporate headshots of any sort, what do? They normally go to a photographer. The photographer will hire the makeup and hair. Most of the time when you do headshots, you do makeup and hair. Okay. And that's going to cut us right out. So that money is out of our pocket. Now we do realize that not everybody is going to do this AI thing. I get that too. But basically what's happening is that some of the stuff is going to start to slow down. If you were doing it for a while, let's say you're doing headshots or glamour shots or that stuff, and you were like, oh, I'm rolling in the dough or, and then all of a sudden you don't get as many appointments. It could be AI eking into your profits. Okay. And so it's something that, we need to understand it's coming. Maybe we need to market ourselves a little bit better. Like maybe saying something like, well, the human touch is far better than anything that AI can do. And AI doesn't listen. AI is just there to do they take out likeness and then they spit out all the stuff and then you pick. But there is something missing from that prospect as well. I will admit I thought it was cute, but then I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. Okay, so the second one is film AI. And we all know film has been doing some form of AI-ish stuff for a while now. You can call it CGI, whatever you want to call the I-ish, but we know they've been doing that. Now, what they have been doing is I keep talking about this movie. I tried to find it I did find it, but I didn't write it down. There was this movie with Will Smith I talked about last week where they took a younger version of Will Smith and put it onto another person. So when old Will Smith is standing here, here's young Will Smith, and they're like looking at each other and interacting with each other. That is a form of AI and CGI put together. Again, I don't think that, I would say in 10 years from now, they'll have that down. But I can tell you for that movie, I was so fixated on I couldn't even tell you the name of the movie because I was so fixated on the special effects. And you could see where he was slipping in and out, like the guy that was playing the younger guy, you could see his face go. It was kind of strange. So, but that will be fixed with time. And so what does that mean? What does that mean? Does it mean that Will Smith has a makeup artist himself, but now this young Will Smith doesn't need a makeup artist? So now you had one makeup artist here, so now you cut out the second makeup artist? So these are the things that we have to think about, and that's the film world. And then let's talk about, and we talked about fashion last time, but people are already creating these huge fashion stories already in AI. There was a glamour, magazine cover, not in America, but I'm picking the wrong country. Ukraine popped in my head, but I don't think it was Ukraine. I can't remember which one it was. Poland, I think, something like that. And they had generated a whole cover straight up AI. No usage of hair, makeup, styling, no usage of a photographer. They created a whole cover with a fake everything, not even a real model. Everything was fake, and they use it as their cover. This is something that we need to think about. I'm an editorial girl. This is something that we need to think about. You see, like, what the F? Like, like, excuse me? So that's something we have to keep our eyes peeled. We have to start paying attention. We have to really start paying attention. I started screaming at people about influencers 15 years ago. I said, something's not right with this. Something's not right with this. This is not cute. I don't care if they're sitting in their bedroom. We need to pay attention. I was the lone cuckoo crazy person that was waving at all of us going, pay attention to these influencers. Something's going on. And nobody listened to me. The senior artists didn't listen to me. They said, oh, it's a fad. It will go away. And I was like, I don't think so. And then the newbies were kind of like trying to get on, either trying to become a makeup artist and or getting on board with influencers. I'm telling you, we have to be careful of trends because this could be very trendy and fall flat too, But let's go on. Now, we talked about the cover of Glamour. Now, we already heard about Levi. Levi created a whole catalog full of AI. There was an AI model, AI hair makeup, and then they put their clothes on the model. They didn't pay for nothing. They paid for ish, except for the technician to come in here and put that shoot together. They claimed that they did it for diversity's sake. And when they said that, I wanted to pick up my computer and toss it out the window and stomp on it and say, stop lying to me, you biatches, because you're not doing it because of diversity. They were saying that the reason why they were doing it is because they wanted a black model or something like that to represent Levi's. I was like, this is such ish. I can't even stand it. But Levi's has created a whole catalog, all AI. I know that there are other companies following suit. Is it Ralph Lauren? I think it was Ralph Lauren too that did a whole catalog AI. Okay. So that's the other thing. This is a thing that I just found out this week, and I loved it. I love knowing about it because it affects me, because I love to work in corporate America. I love to do corporate things with my makeup. I like it. They pay fast. The pay is really good. You know what I mean? And so I found out that they are using, how can I explain? They have, sometimes I get hired to do training videos, like sexual harassment videos. Don't touch her in inappropriate places. So you get hired to do that, and then you run around and do the makeup, right? Well, what they're doing now is this is part makeup artist issue and part union, actor union issue. So what they're doing now is, let's say they'll hire me. I'll come in here, do homeboy's face, right? And then what they'll do is they'll take his likeness, right, and have him sign a contract for perpetuity, for forever. And they basically will take his likeness and they'll, how do they do it? They take his likeness and stick his head on top of somebody, on top of like another change of clothes. And they'll just keep looping him in some way, shape, or form. So they don't have to ever do another video again. They don't have to do another video shoot again. So DeShawn was hired for one video, right? I got that one payment to come in here, make him look perfect. But then they take that and they use it forever. And that's what the union was having an issue with. No, you can't be taking out likenesses and using it forever. Now, as makeup artists, we are kind of used to photographers taking advantage I'm sorry. I still think it's taking advantage of us because they can literally take our images that we have worked on and they take it and in perpetuity for the rest of their damn days, they can sell that image 25,000 times if they want to. And we are ass out. I never liked that. I still don't like it. I think that needs to be changed too. But this is what's happening. So you understand the actor is now signing his life away and his likeness away. And they record him enough, when I understood, they record him enough to have enough words coming out of his mouth where they can piece it together. It's very interesting. And then they just take that likeness and just use it forever. What's the mother if? Okay, what is going on? So that's another thing that corporate videos are doing. So again, if you do corporate videos, this is something that you need to pay attention to because it could be cutting into your profits. You may have been hired once a year to come back and do another video, or you're hired every whatever to do. See, because sometimes huge corporations, what will happen is they will hire me and I'll come back and do the Asian version. Then I'll come back and do the French version. You know what I mean? But they will cut that out. See? So it's very, very interesting what is happening. And you guys already heard about the actors in the background scenes. It's the same premise. They scan them in some way, shape, or form, film them for maybe a day or two or three, and then take that likeness and they're able to do what they did with Will Smith. Take that head, let's say, and stick it on a body and not pay them. They constantly are trying not to pay people. And this is where the issue is coming in. The other problem is streaming. So streaming has messed it all up for us. And so what's happening with the streaming is that normally regular TV shows, right, would get residuals. Okay. And those residuals are from, their time on the TV show. And they also are like, almost like their residuals would be almost like normal pay, which I didn't know. So if I hate to bring him up because I can't stand him, but if you were on the Cosby Show, if you were Rudy on the Cosby Show and you were getting residuals, they say, from what I understand, that those residuals are like being paid every episode. So you're getting that money every episode. That's how it used to be. But because of streaming, they don't feel the need to give the actors union any information of how many people are watching, how many times people are watching. They get no information. So let's say as an actor, you get a check. Let's say you got a check for $1,000. Let's just say that. Let's say for television's sake, you got a check for $1,000. Well, streaming, you might get a check for 50 cents. That's a big drop. Okay. And that's what so they're fighting for a lot of stuff in the union. They're fighting for a lot of stuff. And so this is the issues going on. Now, makeup artists, technically, we freelancers, we don't have a union. This is why I keep saying we need to get together. This is why I keep saying we need to get together, because freelancers are, what are we? What are we, people? We are ass out. If we don't come together, we are ass out, because those union people, I love union people. I'm a big union girl, rah, rah. I made sure the film I'm working on was 100%, never cutting a line or anything. I made sure of all that. But I will tell you this, that makeup and hair union, they ain't fighting for freelancers. They only fighting for themselves. They want their pensions. They want all this stuff. They are not concerned with us. And so if we don't start doing something, we are screwed. And this is what I've been trying to say. If we don't do something, we are very, very screwed. All freelancers are going to be screwed. Okay. So we need to do something. Like you said, we need to do something. Rah. We need to do something because they are coming for us. Now, does that really mean that they're going to take over everything we do? No, they can't take over everything we do. Live shows, you can't take over a live show. You can't take over weddings. There's many spaces that they cannot take from us. But I will tell you this, if you are not at the top of your game, y'all better listen, They're talking about this strike is going to go on for a long time. They're saying that there may not be new TV until 2026, which means we're stuck with the Real Housewives of whatever. We're stuck with all this crappy reality. Okay. There won't be new TV until 2026, which means, by the way, you know what that means. And no new TV and supposedly no new like blockbuster films. So what does that mean? It not only does it mean no movie makeup, but also if you did press junkets, I do press junkets. I go around with the celebrities and I make them up for them to get on Good Morning America, to get on The View, to get on this. I make them up for that, right? And so my money's cut out of my pocket because the strike is on and they're not going to be promoting anything. That's another big cash cow for people that is now gone. You see? So there's a lot to it. There's a lot that's eking into even a freelancer's world right now. And so we just have to be, we got to be on top of it, you know? And so it's sort of like I say, like, we always had AI. We always had some form of AI, Photoshop. This is something like a AI-ish kind of thing. CGI. We always had that, you know. But what it was supposed to be straight up enhancement. It's supposed to enhance something. Like, oh, you know, she got too many wrinkles. Let's fix that. Oh, she got a little too much in her hair. Let's fix that. That's what it was supposed to do, not take over. And that's what's happening. It's taking over. It's turning into a replacement as opposed to as an enhancement. And that is where the problem is kicking in for all of us. Okay. So that is those are my notes. I wanted to run down everything I learned this week and what we just previously discussed. Okay. You have to you got to have to get used to doing everybody. Black, white, blue, green. You're going to have to get used to doing all kinds of, maybe you want to break out in the hair because probably hair and makeup artists, to be honest, will probably work more than just makeup artists. I hate to say that because if you're a double threat, you might be able to get more jobs. So all these things have to be considered because times are a-changing. They just are. You know, I would love to say, don't worry, but I see things coming. I'm a little witchy. I see things coming and we have to pay attention. We cannot poo-poo this. Like we poo-pooed them damn influencers sitting in their bedroom, you know, talking about, let me show you how to put makeup on, doing it all wrong. We thought, oh, no big deal, right? What's the big deal? Well, it's a big deal, isn't it? We have to pay attention. We have to. So let me read your comments because I'm done. Jack V, hi. I finally made it to a live instead of watching a replay. Hi, Jackie. I say Jackie, Jacques. I'm not sure how to say that, sweetie. Natalie, hello, Natalie. Oh, Sony, what you got to say to me? Laugh out loud. Yes. And no, I'm currently working for Sephora as a licensed beauty advisor. My business slowed down a lot. Okay, honey, just keep working. Gemini Man, thank you. Good Lord. Thank you, Sony. The movie with Will Smith is called Gemini Man. It would be good if I can effing remember that, but it's called Gemini Man. Thank you. It is something to see. It's quite interesting to see what they do. And maybe you need to see what I'm talking about by just looking at Gemini. You don't even have to, by the way, you don't have to rent it. You can pull up the trailer and then you'll see what I'm talking. You don't pay no money to see that. First of all, it's a crappy movie. It was a crappy movie. So I'm not asking you to look at it, but I am asking you to look at the CGI. I'm pretty sure there's more clips. There's probably more clips on YouTube for you to see what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Sony. Let's see. I am Berlin. Nars posted an image on their LinkedIn that was all AI generated. Now you see, I learned something new today. I did not know that. I'm gonna write that down. Nars. Now see, now that's an issue for me, and I'll tell you why that's an issue. Because that, to me, personally, false advertisement. That's when you start doing beauty AI, you're not using their products. You're making it up. I'm a Photoshopper. You are making it up as you go along. You see, that's incorrect. No, that's not right. See, that would make me mad. It would make me not want to purchase Nars. I'm already not purchasing Levi's. It already makes me like, I ain't purchasing that from it. I don't like that. I don't like that. Maybe they were trying to prove a point, but I don't like that. Let me see. Honey Love 222. Hey, DeShawn. Sad news on New York Fashion Week experience. How sad news? Fashion Week is not here yet. What happened? You got to come back around, Honey Love 222. We cannot have no sad news. No. Celeste Moore. Hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. Sony's laughing at me. Ledger. Hi, Ledger. Ledger going around the world. I see you, girl. Welcome back, honey. Welcome back. Have to, let me make sure my glasses are on correctly. Let me see that. Okay, let me make sure. Have to pay out of pocket, and I'm a poor makeup artist. I can't afford the expense to get my butt to New York for Fashion Week. Oh, okay. I thought you meant when you said had to pay out of pocket. I thought you don't mean you had to pay out of pocket to be on a team. You meant you just can't get your behind to New York. Is that what you're trying to say? I was trying to understand. Because please, anybody who says that you need to pay to be on a team, that's a no-no. You don't pay to be on anybody's team. So please, honey love, help me. We can't have that happening. We cannot have that happening. That's a bunch of BS. We cannot have that happening. Where do you live? I'm on your business now. Where do you live? Just give me a roundabout feel, honey love 222. Where are you? Are you far? Are you like in California? Like, where are you that you can't get here on the Peter Pan bus? Like, I'm asking a question. You're in California. Dang it, man. You're in California. Well, that sucks. I was hoping you were going to say like Boston or Baltimore or something like that. I was like, girl, get on the Peter Pan bus. Well, honey love 222. Oh, not to be on the team. Okay. Well, your girl, when she was very young, had to travel across country actually I traveled across country twice on a bus. Once was when I was a kid, very, very young. I think I was 11. And I refused to get on a plane. And my mother was probably going to curse me out because I was like, yeah, I'm not getting on that, mommy. I'm not getting on that. And so we were invited to go to California. Oh, how old was I? No, I was like 9 or 10, something like that. I was invited to go to California. My whole family was invited to go to California. And my mother was like, come on, let's go. Somebody invited us. We can stay at their house. Da, 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 da. And we took the bus. I know you're like, DeShawn ain't taking no bus. But we did. We did take the bus. And it was actually quite, I'm not trying to force you on the bus, honey love 22. We're really not. But sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. Sometimes we just have to suck it up and get our asses to New York and do it and then get our ass back. I think I told you guys that my very first tear, the first tear that was all mine, had nothing to do with anybody else, was actually for, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was actually for a fashion editorial. I believe, now that I remember it correctly, I was talking to my boyfriend about it. I believe it was Howard University's magazine. But at the time, I didn't care whose magazine it was. And I had to get my behind to DC. And I do understand it's not California. Trust and believe, I understand. And I had to get my behind some kind of way to DC to do the shoot. And I ran around the house like a cuckoo person and dug up as much change as I could find. At the time, we had change. I dug up as much change as I could find. I found like $50 in change. Because how back in the day, you had change everywhere. I had $50 in change or more. I took it to the bank. They gave me the money for it. And then I was able to get a round trip bus ticket to DC to do the shoot. I arrived and I had to get the bus in the middle of the night. I got there. Then I got to the college or whatever, slept in some room. I don't even know where I was. Woke up in time, set my phone alarm, woke up in time to go to the shoot. The shoot lasted till the middle of the night. Then I had to come right back home because I couldn't afford to eat. I couldn't afford to do anything. I had to get my behind back to the bus station and then get my behind back to home. And then I had to then take a train ride. That was like another hour and a half, but it was like a full 36-hour day just to get some tears from a college paper, a magazine, you know. Sometimes we just got to do what we got to do. That didn't even cross my mind. Yeah, jeans. You have my wheels turning. Yeah, I mean, think of, there are alternatives to getting here. You know, it's just going to take you, it's going to take you a couple of days. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and say that. It will take you a couple of days, but you know, it's a couple of days of meeting nice people, saying hi. You know, find people up here that could help you. Maybe there's makeup artists out here that can, you know, let you sleep on the sofa. Maybe you don't have to pay for Airbnb, you know, or something like that, or a hotel room. Maybe, you know, if you get on a team, maybe you can say, hey, is there any team members? I'm coming from California. Do you think I can crash on your sofa? Do you see what I'm saying? You know, we have to like for these opportunities that, you know, we want so badly, sometimes we just got to suck it up. Like, listen, when the shoot was over in the DC area, I had to get to the DC. I don't know how I got to the DC bus depot, but listen, when I tell you, I was at the DC bus depot. Bus, you hear me? Listen, bus, not the Amtrak, bus. And it was janky as the shits. Okay. It was janky. It was nasty. You know, people want to talk about Penn Station. Well, I'm going to talk about DC's bus station at the time. I had to sit there. I was exhausted. I had to sit there like the whole time. I was like, don't fall asleep till you get on the bus. Don't fall asleep till you get on the bus. You wait for the bus to come. I think the bus came to get me like 2:00 in the morning, something like that. But I had to sit there, like that. I think my meal, my dinner was a Snickers bar. It's always a Snickers bar. Snickers just, they elevate my life. And then I got on the thing and I had enough money to get back to the Bronx. I was in the Bronx at the time. We have to do what we have to do. You know what I mean? And I think if you get on a team, then why not try? Listen, all you could do is try. All you can do is try. Don't give up. I don't like it when people give up. Don't give up. It's not impossible. It's just going to be a little harder. But don't give up. You can get here. You can get here. I know you can get here. And you can get back home. I know you can get here. We're going to have to figure out how you're going to get here. Let me see. These are not the right glasses. She said, Lydia says, true. You got to do what you got to do. She said, I will say that Greyhound and Peter Pan are expensive these days. From Boston to New York, from Boston to New York could cost you $60 to $88. 5-hour drive. I bought a ticket. Okay. Yeah, but that's still, I mean, when I think about it, like, okay, I am poo-poo now. I you know, me and the Peter Pan bus, you know. And so now I take the Amtrak. I always take the Amtrak, and I always take business class Amtrak. Because also I'm not paying for it. Let me be truthful, okay? If I was paying for the Amtrak, I probably be in coach. She's cheap. If I pay for it, I'll be in coach. But yeah, so yeah, that ticket round trip is very expensive to me. It's like almost $500 round trip to back and forth on that Acela train, the fast one. So I dig you, but yes, if I said, listen, biatch, you don't have no $500 to be balling, okay, on the Amtrak, get your behind up and go on the Peter Pan bus. I would get on the Peter Pan bus. And $80 is not that much, you know, $80 compared to $500, you know, or 160 round trip is really not bad compared to $500. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I hear you, and it's fine. And that's the other thing for me is I don't mind being on a bus. It doesn't bother me. I don't know if you guys know, but I also did a tour, and I went across the country and back on a bus where we slept in bunks on the bus, like a rock star bus, and we slept on bunks. I went across the country and back for 3 months of my life, and yeah, I lived on a bus that long, and so I'm used to buses. I don't know. I'm just used to buses. So that's what she's saying. So she's saying to Elizabeth, that's so cheap, considering it would be around $2,500 for the entire trip. I do think Honey Love 222 and the rest of us who say there's no way for me to do something. I do think there's 99% of a ways for us to do it. I just think when we get slapped in the face with something, we get, paralyzed and like, I can't do it. I want to go. But there are ways to do it. There's a huge makeup artist network. Whatever the company is, maybe you can ask them, hey, is there, are there any other makeup artists coming from out of town? Maybe they want to split something with you. You see what I'm saying? There are ways to do this. There are ways to do this. You might not have gourmet meals when you get here. You might, you know what I mean? The best thing about New York is we have $1 pizza. Hello, $1 pizza and $1.50 hot dogs. They will sustain you. We have great cheap Chinese food here. There's a lot of cheap food here, so you'll never go hungry. So I just want you to think. I don't want you to say that it's impossible. I want you to take your champagne budget and shake it to a beer budget. Okay. Shake it down, girl. I would say a bottle of water, but sometimes I think a bottle of water is more expensive than the damn beer. Shake it down to a beer budget. Okay. Make it like the bare bones. Remember, I want you to think like this ain't no party trip. I'm trying to get the experience. Focus on the experience. Focus on the job. Don't focus on the overall, I want to go to this. I want to do this. I want to da. Yeah, don't focus on all that. Just focus on the job, and it'll work out for you. Pizza will work. That's what I say. Pizza will work. See, California, I went over to listen, you Californians. I cannot remember where it was, but I was with a bunch of people. And I was like, yo, I'm hungry. And as a New Yorker, I was like, I'm gonna go get a slice of pizza. And so I went to one of your pizza places. And the man wanted to charge me something like, it was a regular slice of pizza. He wanted to charge me something like $7. I said, oh, in my head, I'm like, it's New York. This place didn't even look good. So I'm thinking, what is it, $2? He said $7. See, as a New Yorker, I tend to, in your head, you start cursing like a sailor. Like, are you effing out? And I said, no, thank you. And then I went and got me a Snickers. I was like, $7 for a regular pizza. No, we don't do that here in New York. No, we don't do that. No. We don't do that. I'm telling you. Oh, okay. So the team is, listen. This is what you do. This is what you do. Listen, come back to me. Come back to my old school film days when I had no money, when I was really, 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 really poor. I couldn't pay my bills, this whole 9 yards. And I learned how to stretch food. What you could do is a lot of times there's craft services at these places. I would honestly bring me some Ziploc bags. I know people like DeShawn. Yes, I would. Okay, it's no shame here. What's in here? Bob. And I would just put some of that food in a Ziploc bag, and put it in my bag for later, for me to eat later. That's what I would do. Because all that food normally goes to waste. It really does. The craft services thing, it normally goes to waste. Nobody ever really eats it. And so just go up there with your little Ziploc bag, throw them bagels in there, get yourself some cream cheese, and take it with you. They normally have water back there. They normally have like those nut bars back there. They have all that kind of, sometimes they'll even give you food. Like, so there's craft services and then there's food, you see. So I want you to understand that there's food back there. Grab what you can, boo, put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in your bag and take it with you. It's free. Okay. I'm like, I'm serious. I'm not joking. I know y'all think DeShawn is crazy, but I am very serious. I am not joking. Listen, when I tell you that my friends, because I refused to tell my friends. I refused to tell my friends that I was starving. And I literally was starving. This is like no joke. I was literally starving. I couldn't pay my rent. I couldn't pay any of my bills. That they were going to throw me out of my apartment. I was like, what am I going to do? The phone back in the day, when they used to, the credit people would call. The phone would just ring and ring. And it was just like, oh my God, oh my God. And I couldn't eat. I wasn't eating. I had $1.50 a day. That's all I had. That's all your girl had to eat. $1.50. Not $1.50 per meal. I had $1.50. Period. Okay. I was so thin. My friends were like, oh, you lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, and I didn't say anything because in my mind, I'm like, yeah, bitch, I ain't eating. But I refused to tell anybody. I was starving. I refused to tell anybody. I was like, oh no, I didn't quit my day job, and then to hear, oh, look at her. She can't pay her bills. I refuse to tell people. I refuse. So when I tell you I know what it's like, I know what it's like. And I definitely know what it's like. It's not cute. It's hard. And so if you have to go to damn craft services and get yourself a few extra bagels and some cream cheese and so on and so forth to get your behind back home so you can eat something and save some money, then hell do it, because it's free. It's there for you to take, all free. Okay. So that's why I say what I say. And if it wasn't for the fantastic pizza parlor and the Chinese food restaurant around my way for noticing something was not right with me, they noticed, and they would give me a little extra. They noticed. They're like, she's not spending like she used to. What's going on? She only wants soup. What's happening? And they would be like, oh, we're going to give you, would you like some? We have some leftover, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, thank you. And then I would take whatever somebody would give me. You just have to, you got to do it. If you want to do this job, sometimes, sometimes it just can be rough for us. And I hate to hear I can't do something because you can't physically get here. I think I think, in my personal opinion, I think we could do anything we set our minds to. I just do. Think of honey love. Think of something. Let's see. I don't know if you're a church person or something like that. You can also do, if you're a church person, I don't know, sweetie. You could do a fundraiser for yourself. Then let the church know, hey, I am trying to get to New York. I'm trying to do New York Fashion Week. I just need to raise this amount of money. I would do your makeup. I'll sit here on the next 4 Sundays and do as many people as you can makeup for what I'm trying to say, for the church thing. See what I'm saying? See, I'm coming up with stuff because sometimes you have to kind of come out of your wahala and think outside the box. How can I make money? How can I make money? I got to make some money. How can I make money? And that's just with makeup. Maybe you can go online now and find a job, an online job that might pay you an extra $100, an extra $200. Do you see what I'm saying? It's any way you're trying to collect money. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to collect money, right? So any way that you think you can make some extra money, there you go. I think the money's out there. I do think it's out there. You just have to I don't want any sad sacks. I don't want anybody who can't do it. If there's a freaking will, it's a way. I believe that in my heart. I do believe that in my heart. So I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to give up. Nope. I saw Monique. Hi, Monique. I saw you in here. I don't see you now, but I could have sworn I saw your name pop up. So I'm saying, hey. Let's see. One slice. Oh, wait. Somebody's saying $1 slice or $3.50 special. Ooh, 2 slices and a soda? What? Listen, I'm on it. I'm not playing. When I used to go across the street to the pizza parlor, all right, for some reason, I always call them boys. The boys made these really big slices. Thank you, Jesus. And then what I would tell them to do is, they're not really big, but they felt like they were more like a slice and a half than a slice to me. And then I would say, oh, can y'all do me a favor? Can you cut it in half for me? And they were like, you want me to do what? You want me to cut a slice in half? Uh-huh. You cut a slice in half for me? So I had 2 portions because I didn't want to chow down one and I didn't want to eat the whole thing. So they would cut it in half for me, that kind of thing. But they noticed that one minute she was coming here ordering pies and everything. Now I'm asking them to cut it in half. So all of a sudden, after a couple of months, miraculously, they would say, hey, sis, we got an extra calzone. Do you want it? Or, hey, sis, we got an extra, what did they used to give me? They used to give me whatever. We got an extra something, which I think they made for me because they knew I would come in. So they would make it for me and they would give it to me. I didn't have to pay for it. I was like, oh, no, I can't take it. No, it's extra. That's why I say sometimes I think if you're not a spiritual person, if you're not into God, and that's cool, you don't have to be. But I really believe the universe kind of comes at us in a weird way. The universe comes at us when we really want something. It comes at us. Like I didn't tell a soul I was broke. Not one person. Not one person did I tell. Nobody. Not one person. But then the universe came and protected me. And they said, we got you, sis, but you gotta get out of your head, because I was all like, and then once I stopped crying, I realized, okay, well, you'll be homeless, but you'll have your kit. So you can always make some money. You might have to sleep on some French couches every now and then. You might have to do something, but you'll be fine. You got your kit. You got enough makeup to do makeup with. You'll be fine. It ain't the end of the world. And then when my brain started to flip is when my life flipped, when all of it flipped. And I tell you this, I had back rent, I had back bills, and I got a call. I say this all the time. This is what I say. The universe is there for you. You have to be able to hear it and feel it. And so I got a call. It felt like the day I had this cry, the ugly cry, like, the ugly cry. So the day after I had the ugly cry, and then I looked up at the Lord. I say the Lord, but I'm not really that kind of girl, but spiritually. And I said, I'm sorry for being so, I kind of was like, I'm sorry for being so non-receptive to the universe. Because when you're in this state, you can't hear nothing. You can't feel nothing because all of this stuff is happening and you can't center yourself. You have to be able to sit still and center yourself and hear things that you couldn't hear before. And I sat back and then I just looked up after the cry. Then I looked up and I was so sorry. I realized that I have a lot of gifts that I'm not thinking of using. I'm in here freaking out. And then within a matter of a day, the phone rang. I finally picked up the phone because I refused to pick up the phone because of the creditors. So finally I said, you don't have to pick up the phone. All you have to do is say sorry and hang up. It's not the end of the world, DeShawn. The phone rang. I picked it up. There's a gentleman with a job that paid me thousands of dollars that got me out of every debt that I owed. You see? But if I stayed like this, I would have never picked up the phone. I would have never picked up that phone. I know that because I wasn't picking up the phone for like 6 months. I would have never picked up that phone. And the reason why he was able to get me, what happened? I don't even know how he got my phone number, but the reason why he got me was because my cell phone had been cut. And then I don't know how he got my home phone number, but he did. And he called me on the home line too. And I actually picked it up and I was like, hello. And it was him. And he was like, oh, I tried to call you on the phone. This isn't working. I was like, oh, well, and he offered me a job for 2 weeks out of New York. If I came and did this gig, I would get thousands. And then I negotiated a little bit more. And I negotiated to get paid right away because I needed it. I needed to get paid right away. He said, okay. And then that was it. And I got my money. But we have to be able to calm down and we have to be able to hear and feel and see other things other than all of this. I can't. When things happen to us, we can. We just have to center ourselves, Oh, see, look. Oh, did anybody have any ideas of how to make money? Let's talk about that. We have 15, 14, 12 minutes left. So Lydia says, I have an idea. Raffle a basket with makeup products. Use your pro discount to purchase a few items and put them in a really nice basket and raffle them. Invest $100. You can make $300, $5 a ticket. See that? $5 a ticket. See? Do you see what I'm saying? Like this all, like we have to like, this is community. We have to come up with ideas of how to make some effing money. Like, how do I mean, I would, I sell t-shirts every now and then. you know I sell t-shirts, I do things, I'll do specials for people, like what can we do, meditation and or prayer, whatever is floats your boat, or both. This is what, as freelancers, we have to be able to do for ourselves, because nobody's going to do it for us. You see, nobody's going to clear the cuckoo-ness, the wahalas. I'm stealing Iyanla Van Sant's word, wahala. It's my new favorite word, Kanto. But it's to clear all that noise above our heads that says, no, 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 you can't, you can't, you can't, you can't. When if we just stopped, we could probably figure out ways to do it. If we just stop, we can do it. Like, there's got to be some more ideas. Selling products. Oh, selling products on Poshmark. Also, lately I have been saving. Yep, my coins up like DeShawn, and going to the coin star. Right. It helps in a pinch. So Jennifer Mitchell, listen, Jennifer. So there was I had several good years, right? I had several good years. I was rolling. I was making my money, right? And so I would go to the store and buy it, and then have this. I had change all over the house, like big jars, little jars. And then I hit a snag. I hit a snag. I want to say I hit a snag. I don't know what year I'm in now, 22. So I would say year 12, I hit a snag. And they were supposed to pay me. They didn't pay me on time, but I got to pay all these bills. I had like about $800 worth of bills to pay. And then what started to happen to me? All this noise started to happen. I'm having a fit. I'm like, oh, mother effer, how am I going to pay these bills? I need $800. How am I going to pay these bills? Okay, listen to me. Hear me now and hear me later. I said, how much change you got? I went around through the entire house, and I had so much change. I had so much change that I could not just take it to the bank. They weren't going to take it. I had so much change, Jennifer Mitchell, that I had to get a suitcase to put it in, because I wasn't paying attention. Change was change. Listen, it was so much change. I needed that money fast. And I started to try to wrap them myself. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. I need this money like the next week. This is going to take me forever. I can't wrap this month. Listen, your girl ordered a coin machine, a coin machine that wraps, from Amazon. Because the reason why I did that is because Coinstar was going to take too much out of my money, right? They were taking, remember, it's like $800. So now they're going to take, a crazy amount of money from me that I could not afford to lose. And oddly enough, I had just enough money in coins to pay all these bills, but I had to wrap them. Child, I got that coin machine, and I want to say something ridiculous. I want to say something ridiculous, something like 4 to 5 hours a day, because it's like a little machine. It's not a real machine. The machine cost me $50. So for like 4 or 5 hours a day, you heard, tick, 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 tick. This is what you heard in my house for 4 to 5 hours a day for 5 days. Okay. And then I had to get it into the bank, and I needed somebody to help me lift it up, because it was so heavy I couldn't lift it up. Then I had the audacity to go to my bank and say, I have change, and then gave them all the change. I gave them all the change. We got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. And I paid my bills. I paid my bills off that change. But I had I had accumulated that change for years. It's just, you get a little change that, get a little change that. I accumulated all that change for years. That took maybe 4 years of my life to do that. But it was such a frivolous thing in my mind. Oh, put the change here, no big deal. Honey, that change saved my ass. Saved my ass. It's like, it's no joke. And like I said, Coinstar was taking too much of my money. When you have a small amount, it doesn't seem like a lot. But when you have a lot, then it feels like, I'm giving you how much, Coinstar? $160. I'm not giving you $160. That's when I said, I got to come up with another plan. So in my head, I said, well, if Coinstar is taking $160, how cheap of a machine can I buy that, that's not going to cost $160. And I think I found one for like 30, and I had to go to the bank to get the papers and then come back, and it was 5 days of It's like, oh, what do we do to survive in this life, people? I tell you. But I like that selling items on Poshmark is very good. Let me see. Coinstar is also very good. So whatever you got around the house, check out to see what you got around the house. Because that could be lunch money, what you got around the house. If you're here for like two days, that's decent lunch money. So you can think, oh, the change might not be able to get me there, but the change might sustain me for lunches or sustain me for a coffee or something like that. And then, by the way, you like, see, this is the thing about New York that I love about my city. There's much about it that sucks, but there's a lot about it that's great. We have these little I don't know what you call them. A New Yorker help me. Like these little kiosks that are here in the morning, especially around, like, if you're going to be around like corporate America areas and stuff, where they sell like dollar coffees and little dollar big big donuts and stuff like that. There are ways to sustain yourself in New York for very little money. And don't forget the queen of all queen, ramen noodles. God bless it. Never poo-poo ramen noodles. Say thank you, Jesus, for the $1 pack of ramen noodles. All you need is hot water and you have a meal. God bless ramen noodles is all I have to say. So there's a lot of ways to eat here. So it's Honey Love says, thank you so much, everyone. I was really going to give up. No, we will not let you give up. No, damn it. No. So, okay, selling products on Poshmark. I'm trying to think of things that you could do quickly. How is your handwriting? Everybody should write down extra things that they can do for money. Like it should be something that we should be doing. To really start thinking about extra things that we could be doing for money, that we can get quick money. And I'm not talking about that. Don't say I'm Lizzo. She is trying to sexually harass me. I'm not doing that. I'm simply saying that think of legal ways for you to make money. What's legal? Even if it has nothing to do with makeup, it might be a virtual assistant. It might be something else. Think of ways to make money quickly, And that Poshmark was very smart. Like how do you do it? Or maybe if you have an abundance of makeup, maybe you could just have a makeup sale and sell some of your stuff for $5 a piece. You know what I mean? If you have that kind of stash, if you have that kind of makeup, well, $5 a piece here, that kind of thing. What can we do to get money? That's what I'm talking about. What can we do to get some money? Oh, Jennifer said, I have a whole ass airbrush kit. Sitting and collecting dust in my closet as we speak. Need to sell it. Bang, Jennifer Mitchell, bang. What you got in that closet, honey love? What you got? What you got in that closet? You can get rid of something, because whatever you get rid of, you can always get back. Listen, I'm in the middle of this room. I have been working in this room for the past 6 months, and I'm hoarding bullshit. I'm hoarding boxes. Oh, I'm going to need those boxes later. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm chucking them in the garbage. I'm done. It's like, yes, we're holding on all this stuff, but for what? It's collecting dust. What's in your closet, honey love, that you can get rid of? Even if it's some clothing, what is in there that we can get rid of, that we can make our little profit off of? You might have some stuff in there you don't even realize. Start digging through it. You want to get to New York? Get your behind to New York. Let's go. You can do this. Natalie. Hi, Natalie. I absolutely love that you are sharing the things that have not always been easy. I feel like some young people don't realize they have to hustle and be creative. Your success will come for sure. Your success will come. I believe that. If you really want it bad enough, you have to go through so much ish to get it, and sometimes it's not, sometimes it's not like, harassments from people. Sometimes it's just things get hard. And what am I going to do? I didn't quit my day job. I didn't quit corporate America to then turn around and be like, I can't pay my bills today. You know what I mean? I have to get up and figure it out. I have to get up and figure it out. And there was one time very early in like 2002, 2002. I'm trying to remember. It's so long ago. God, I'm so old. 2002, I want to say that I had to literally go get a job. I had to get a job. I was working at, I think it was an insurance company. Horrible. But I had to, ooh, talk about cage. Ooh, it's a long story. But I had to work at this, no, it couldn't have been 2003 maybe. I had to work at this insurance company for a hot minute. But then I got fired. I got fired because I kept taking off to go do shoots. So I got fired. But that 3 months helped me save money. So then when I got fired, I was fine because I had this extra money just, sitting around. So listen, we all got to do what we got to do. It's hard. What's my favorite song from that movie? It's hard out here for a pimp. It's hard. So when he says the inflatable, wavy arm guy, I don't know what that means, girl. That sounds perverted. Legit says, okay, more. Teach simple makeup for small groups. Just give them a really good, exceptional rate. Just this time, right? Group of 4, $60 a piece. In a group of 4 or 6, you can make $300 to $400. 100% true. 100% true, Liz. Honey Love says, my whole life I've had to hustle to gain experience. I'm just getting tired. Oh, Honey Love, I feel that now. I feel that. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, listen, I feel that way too. I get tired. I'm like, I'm tired. My ass is tired. I cannot fight anymore. I am tired. Listen, I can't sit up here and say I haven't felt like that here lately. I got really tired. I can't, like, I can't do this much longer. I'm exhausted. And then something kicks you in the butt and you wake up and you go, okay, but sometimes it's okay to take a break too. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this continually, but you do have to pay your bills, and you just have to figure out how you can take your break, pay your bills, and then come back. Nothing says that you have to like grind it out so hard, especially if it's something that's really heavy on you, But I do think sometimes that it is the way that we look at things that can weigh us down or can brighten us up, Let's see. Honey Love 222 says, that's another great idea. She's talking to Lydia. Let's see, Jennifer. I hear you, Honey Love 222. I have pivoted back into a corporate job lately and have been freelancing with bridal on the side. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Jennifer. You got to do what you got to do. You have to do what the mother effing you got to do. And if you need to go back to corporate America, go back to corporate America and do makeup on the side. It's cool. It's okay. It is okay. But if you have dreams and aspirations of doing Fashion Week and is here and she might be on a team, then bring your behind on. But I know you're tired. I get it. It's effing exhausting. It's exhausting. It is. I cannot tell you that it's not exhausting because it is. Honey Love said, I am an esthetician educator, which is why I'm broke with a thankless job. Oh my God, you're an esthetician educator. Girl, give some skincare. Girl, go do some skincare tips and stuff like that. I don't know how your bridal is in California, but you could probably clean up. It's like kind of when Lydia says, start thinking of like little tiny things, $50 here, $60 here, and you can charge people to teach them a little bit of what you don't have to. It's not a master class, by the way. You don't have to think of a master class and do it for like 8 hours. You only need like an hour of their time. Make it something quick and snappy. You can do. Get some testimonials that say you're fantastic, which I'm sure you can do, and do it that way. It's good for bridal. It's good for almost anybody. You can target teenagers with acne, but tell their parents. You see, you don't tell the kids, you tell the parents. I'm doing a teenage acne issue thingy, and let them know that it's only $50 for your kid, and they come and they'll teach them for like an hour. It's just an hour. Maybe you could do that. you have a skincare thing. You can do a lot with that. Jack says, face painting at a park is another way to make money and cash. Oh my God, Jack, you listen. I tell you, I've done things. Jack. I've done things. So listen, I was a face painter. I was a face painter. I was how do I put this? I was a horrible face painter, but it helped pay the bills. I had to make my way through the Bronx, and what was it? Was it my friend? I can't remember who told me to go. But one of my friends said, because I was broke, and she said to me, so like, well, go find a job, something. And they had this one of these healthcare things in New York had this thing set up like this, like you walk into like a little mini bus or something, and then you get up there and get your health care. And I just happened to say, y'all got any jobs? And I gave my card, and they said, oh, you're a makeup artist. And I said, yeah. And they said, oh, we need face painters for the kids, because they have the balloons and everything. We have these fairs and we need face painters. And I was just like, oh, I didn't know. So I was like, oh, sure, I'm a face painter. I don't know what I was doing, but I said, yes, I'm a face painter. And then remember, this is for Google. I had to go to the library and research looks on kids' faces at the time. Because I was like, I'm going to jack this up. And I wasn't that bad. I did a good job. I wasn't great at it, but I did a decent job. The kids were so cute. But yeah, I did that for like a whole summer. And that little extra, like $300-400 was good. So yes, I was a face painter, not a great face painter. But I was a face painter. Oh, the things she did for money. Multiple streams of income are always good. Look at the rich celebrities. Beyonce does more than sing. Natalie, listen, Natalie, I am not a beehive-er, okay? But one of the beehives got on YouTube and was spilling the tea on the show. And he was like, I love her. That's my girl. I spent a lot of money to go to her show. And then he was complaining that they were filming. So Beyonce is filming herself while she is supposed to be giving you a concert. She's like the cameraman is like you're right here. Here's Beyonce and here's the cameraman. I hollered. He's like the cameraman just stepped right in front of me, and she's singing to the camera, and then she's singing to the camera. She's turning around. She's turning her back to the audience, and she's singing into the camera. So I guess she can get the shot in the back. So she's literally filming her tour while she's touring. And then he said, do you know that she had the audacity? She had the audacity to announce on the thing. And oh yes, and my perfume is out now. You should pick it up. And it's like, how much more money you want from me, Beyonce? But I just thought it was funny. It tickled me because this is a beehive. I am not a beehiver, but this was a beehive talking about, listen, ish, how much more money am I supposed to spend on your behind? Okay. I just thought it was funny. It just tickled the shit out of me. It's so funny. Oh my God. Jack says, if you're a multidisciplinary artist, you can also assist other artists' studios. Yes, I don't know how much more time you have, but yes, you can go to some. I would do anything. I would do like anything. I would go around and maybe go to some photography studios. Do you need a makeup artist? Do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need somebody to clean up your thing? Like I'm not against cleaning. I'm not against anything. I am not against it. Can I clean something for you? Because the girl need money. Okay. This is all I'm saying. Like we have to think out of the box. I mean, if I was willing to go back to corporate America and that company was a piece of crap, I would have been better off cleaning somebody's home and going back to that biatch. Okay. So there we go. Let me see. Right. Lidra asked a very good question. How many months do you have until Fashion Week? If it's this Fashion Week, she got a month. If it's this Fashion Week, she has a month. Now, what we could do, honey love 2222, is maybe you can't make the September one that's right here, right? To relieve some of the pressure for you, okay, honey? But we have one in February. Okay, so if you can get on one team, you get on a team again. You understand what I'm saying? So to relieve yourself of some of the pressure, like, damn, I only got 3 weeks. Sometimes you can miracles can happen in 3 weeks, sweetie. I still say try, but if you can't, one, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't you dare beat yourself up about it. It just means, what do I always say? It means it's not your time. That's all it effing means. It doesn't mean you're not meant to do Fashion Week ever. It doesn't mean that. It's just not your time. That's it. February might be a better time for you than September. That's all. So I want you to understand that Fashion Week is here. It ain't going nowhere. It's here. We're trying to get you there now. We're trying to get you there now. Okay. But I want you to understand that if you can't do it, don't sit here. I can't do it. I can't try that. It's okay. It's okay. But what will happen is it will give you, you'll make your list, sweetie. Make your list of all the things that you can think of. Just write them down. I'm a listy person. Just write it down. Write it down. Write all the things that you think that you can. What Lid just said, which is so smart. $50, $60. Anything that will help you make more money in the interim. And then you could still do that along the way, and then probably afford a plane ticket to New York. You never know. You see. But I don't want you to beat yourself up about it. We're not trying to, oh, she don't make it in September. What kind of artist is she? No, because we know that life happens. But I want you to try. We can't do nothing if we don't try. You see? And then this whole exercise, like when things don't work out for me, I realize it's just an effing lesson. It really is a lesson. I remember somebody said to me, something like, oh, you failed. I said, no, I didn't fail. I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as a lesson. I learn lessons. As long as we take a lesson away from it and we apply it to our lives, right? We'll be fine. That's all. We'll be fine. We have to learn lessons. That's it. So maybe the lesson is, if you want to do Fashion Week and you ain't got no money, then we're going to have to start the Honey Love 222 job fair a little earlier on. Maybe I'll come in here next year and say, Honey Love 222. It is June. Are we starting that Honey Love 222 get me to Fashion Week thing? You see what I'm saying? That's it. You'll be fine, honey. You make it this September, or you make it in February, or you make it next September. You will be fine. It happens when it's supposed to happen. It really does. We can't force Jack. we can't force it. We can't force it. It happens when it happens for us. And I think if more people understood that, I think the less anxiety we would have. Because I don't get bent out of shape when I don't get something. It's very odd that and there's many things that I don't get, even to this day. There are many things that I've put myself up for that I don't get. Somebody had just offered me a job that was going to pay me. Right. And then she wrote me back. She goes, they got somebody else. And now, before, years ago, when I first started and they would say to me, they got somebody else, I would be like this. I would be like, I really wanted that job. Yeah, I would be really distraught. I'd be very upset. But now I was like, no problem. And I wrote it back, hey, I appreciate you thinking of me. And I just released it. I released it. I don't do things like I used to. Like, when somebody would offer me a job and they would tell me how much the job was, I would count that money. Like I would already spend that money in my head. Oh, that money's gone. Yeah. I don't do that anymore. I normally wait until I know how much I'm supposed to make. I negotiate the right price. I do all these things, but at the same time, you have to be physically standing in front of somebody before you know that money is yours, because this business is very funky. I mean, so it took me, I'm not gonna lie and say that this attitude of mine happened overnight. It didn't. It took years because I didn't understand the business. I didn't understand when somebody offered me something that I might not get it, And now it happens. It happens quite a bit. We all makeup artists. I don't think any makeup artist gets everything that they're put up for. You know, it happens, it doesn't happen. Listen, when I approached Graftobian about inclusion, that took about three years in the making, 3 or 4 years, something like that in the making, because I approached them and I said, I have an idea. They said, oh, thank you, but we can't do anything about that idea for a while. And I was just like, and I was like, okay, no problem. And I didn't take my idea to anybody else. And I just said, okay, well, I'm not gonna, it is what it is. They can't do it. They can't do it right now due to production things. I said, okay, cool. But I didn't get a no. It just said, we can't do it right now. And then 2 years later, here comes Mr. Graftobian, Eric from Graftobian. Hey, girl, are you ready to do your palette? I was like, ah! But you see what I'm saying? Like, you know, it took me 4 years to write assisting rules. 4 years. Four. Didn't happen overnight. 4 years. That thing had went through so many iterations. It's not even funny. 4 years. So nothing happens overnight. We have to realize that. Except sometimes we can parlay some money. Sometimes we can parlay some money, honey. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So yeah. So it starts in September 7th. That's okay. We're trying to get you there. We trying to, that means you got to hustle. You got to hustle. Honey love. Like your name's like two. You got to hustle, honey love. You better sit down tonight, get that pen and piece of paper, and start figuring out what it is that you can do. And remember to keep your overhead low, things that you can kind of generate online. Can you send out an email blast to people, something that doesn't cost any money? You know, I'm not asking you to go out and buy paper and all. You know, think of anything that you can do right now. I don't even know how much money you need. Think of all like the money you need to get here. I say by bus. I know people like DeShawn, she ain't taking no bus, but I do say by bus. But I don't know how much a bus is these days. But I feel like you could do it. Or, you know, we have to figure, even for next time, sweetie, we got to figure out how to get you here economically. You know what I mean? And also flying sometimes, to me personally, is not always the greatest thing, especially flying, you know, 3 hours before the plane starts, then the waiting on the tarmac, and then taking it took me 17, I live in New York. It took me 17 hours to get to Atlanta to go speak at IMAX. 17 hours. Okay. I'm not a fan of the plane. That's just me. I'm not the fan of the plane. So beautiful people, I stayed 15 minutes longer. I got to go because I got to prep for my movie. I'm sending you all love, including Honey Love 222. Come on, Honey Love, you got this. You got this. And if you don't got this, guess what, Honey Love? It's okay. Okay. You're so welcome. Thank you too, Honey Love, for being here. And thank all you guys for being here. I'll be back on Monday, next week, Monday, because your girl got another job. Next week too. Yay! Don't forget, give this thing a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, obviously leave them in the comment section below the post and in Instagram or wherever. Okay? I'm out, beautiful people. Have a beautiful night. Good night.